So how about Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers? You're going to hear two very different tones as we're going through this video, as I was convinced this just wasn't Green Bay's day. Okay, whatever. It's the Saints. Good defense. What are you going to do? Welcome to the NFL moment. No, I think the NFL, it went the other way around. NFL, welcome to the Jordan Love era in Green Bay, as we saw some sloppy football early on, but we're going to discuss what went wrong, the positives that I liked even in that slow start, and then also eventually why they got down, but then talk about the comeback and how they were able to end up winning. A lot of good stuff. Let's just get into it. All right, let's start off with this play. This is a weird play. So it's going to be a 4th down and 2 situation. So the Packers, all right, what are you going to do? You're going to just run the ball, right? They pitch the ball back to a halfback who's going to throw it back towards Jordan Love here. Clever concept, but what's the issue with doing something like this? The advantage is you can really get people by surprise. The disadvantage, obviously, is you're just asking people to do things that they're not used to doing. Have a running back throwing the football. You have a quarterback catching the football. That doesn't go very well. Love actually picks it up, but then slips and sort of throws while doing the splits and misses the throw right there. So kind of a sign of things to come. Obviously not something I would look at and say, oh, that's a disaster that happened. Jordan Love sucks. Just more of a fluky, unfortunate play in a very unique scenario. At the same time, though, definitely kind of a sign of things to come. Because then this play would happen. And again, we'll get into it. I'll show the play and then I'll give my thoughts on it. Where it's going to be a zone coverage play. Luke Musgrave, once again, tight end for Green Bay, just trying to split the defense, basically. The Saints love these 2 safety deep coverages, which can drive you crazy as an offensive coordinator because you just can't get these chunk plays. You have to work so methodical, which is part of what makes the Saints so effective and why the Dennis Allen scheme is so good. However, sometimes up the middle can actually be a way where you can get a chunk play, especially like what Green Bay is doing here is they're sending 3 receivers down the field, a player on each side running go routes and then Musgrave going up the middle. There could potentially be a window to make this throw. And as you see, Love takes the snap. He is going to look down the field. He fires down the field. There is a window here. I mean, this is a throw that has to be made, quite frankly. Against the Saints, against this good defense, got to make this throw. And as you see, Love just kind of overthrows it a bit. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. That was just a missed throw right there. And it's something that he's going to have to, I don't know. I mean, this is a part of Love's game, right? This is something that was a criticism of his coming out of college, is he is someone who will miss throws from time to time. Some people were speculating, is this actually a communication issue? And while that's possible, the communication issues are happening more and more frequently. You got to get rid of those communication issues at this point. If they're still happening, that's still something that young players have to work on. Because this happened week 1 as well. I mean, this is, I'm not saying it's a trend, but it's happened multiple times. If that's happened, it's also possible it was just a missed throw. Let's go over to a little bit of positives, something like this where, I've been really impressed with his athletic ability, his ability to make things happen when he's going outside the pocket. This is a tough play where clever blitz, as it's going to be a defensive back blitz here for New Orleans. And so, okay, bit of a tough situation if you're Green Bay. Because watch how this blitz is completely, fooling Green Bay. Jordan Love just figures it out right now. This is a tough situation, and honestly, if he got sacked here, I don't think anyone would really blame him. However, as you see, Love gets around him. He's going to get outside the pocket, and he doesn't do anything crazy. Dives for a few yards, does avoid a big hit while doing it as well, so that's certainly good. And, listen, I think it's totally reasonable to say with someone like Jordan Love, this stuff has been actively good for him. I mean, maybe if you wanted to criticize it and say he should have read the blitz pickup, I don't know. Tom Brady would struggle reading those kind of blitz pickups that, the Saints would throw at him. It's hard. It's going to happen. To me, this is a positive play from Love. And something like this is another one where what's going to happen is that it's going to be a 2nd down and 2. Love's going to, fake a play action, or I guess not fake a play action. He's going to run a play action or fake a handoff, however you want to say it. I combined the two. Then he's going to go out towards the bottom of the screen. You have a receiver running over the middle. Okay, well, let's see how it works. Jordan Love is going to take the snaps. So far, he fakes the handoff pretty well, gets outside the pocket, but this is a tough throw, right? You got to throw kind of off balance here, running towards your left. Not the easiest of plays. It is open, but still, the angle in which he has to make the throw makes it difficult. However, he does make that throw pretty accurately. Did his best to set his feet before throwing. This is good stuff from Jordan Love, and he pretty consistently hits these kind of things. So definitely there still are positives, 100%, and these are some of those positives. Also, let's go over to this play, because while there were some positives, there were certainly more negatives. This one, which is going to be an interesting play. So it's going to be a zone coverage play. You have a receiver who's going to try to split the safeties, right? Okay, we saw this work earlier, so I think it's the right job by LaFleur to say, let's try and see if we can get this going again. Maybe it will work this time. As you see, Love is going to, fake a handoff. He fires down the field. And so you see what's happening, where the reason why there's 3 Saints players around him, something I could have mentioned earlier, probably should have mentioned earlier, is that a lot of times what you do is if the safeties are split, a linebacker stays further deep. That's how you typically run these types of plays. So that's what's happening here. The linebacker's going deep. The 2 safeties are deep. The issue is that if you're going to make this throw, you really have to get it down the field. I mean, you have to throw this one a long way. And you're at he threw the ball at his own 6-yard line, and he basically has to throw it to the back of the end zone. I don't know how many people even physically can do that. As you see, because of that, a defender is able to get back, and that should have been Jordan Love's first interception of the year, quite frankly. That was a turnover-worthy play, if you will. He just, luckily got a break there, but that was an error. No doubt about it. That was just an error by Jordan Love, a throw he needs to learn to not make, and just getting more reps in the NFL, he hopefully will. However, this one was weird. So, okay, all right, you're only down 17-0. How are you going to start the third quarter? What's going to happen? How are you going to start things off here? Well, the Saints are in a pretty heavy prevent defense situation. As you see, Love, on the 3rd and 14, he's going to look down the field. He fires down the field, and I got to be honest, I totally agree with his decision to make this throw. I think it's the smart play right here to do something like this. It almost looked like there was, again, part of me is like, was there a bit of a timing issue, a miscommunication of some sort? I actually don't really think so. I think maybe a little bit, but I think that this is kind of the situation where, again, got to line drive this throw, get it underneath the safety, have a 50-50 ball on 3rd and 14, down 17. It's the move to try and throw it up and see what happens. But look at just how far that throw was to where, it ended up, the offense became defense right there. Pretty good tackle at the end there, but that's just a mistake, again, from Love. I think that was just a missed throw. So missing throws and making some poor decisions, that's how you get down in a football game. It just is. So that's it, right? That's the video. Jordan Love. Okay, you had a tough day against New Orleans. It happens. New Orleans does that to everybody, it seems. Who hasn't had a bad day against, the Dennis Allen Saints defense? But then something happened. The Packers offense just completely woke up, and it wasn't even right when they started scoring. They actually kind of woke up before they started scoring. Went for the 4th and didn't get it, then had to settle for a field goal, but they were moving the ball pretty effectively kind of late in the third quarter on. A big chunk of it was they were able to start hitting on some of those over-the-middle shots, forcing the Saints to do something like what you're seeing right now. Single safety deep, and this is how the Packers were able to get those chunk plays that I mentioned earlier. It's usually very hard to get against New Orleans. Love's play on this one, I'm going to be honest, it's still, it's an open situation. It's not a great situation, but there is a receiver. However, this is just, it's one of those weird penalties where, technically, it's a penalty. It is a penalty. And I actually don't necessarily hate this being a penalty, even though I feel like a lot of people do hate this kind of thing being a penalty. Because a lot of people kind of point out, hey, isn't it basically just, the cornerback is behind the receiver stops, so the corner runs into him, so therefore it's a penalty, but, should it be? Well, at the end of the day, if you're putting yourself in that position, then, yeah, it kind of should be a penalty, right? I mean, the receiver put you in a position where you couldn't play the ball, you end up, making contact with the receiver in a way that isn't playing the football, yeah, because you got beat at the beginning, kind of, I feel like it should be a penalty. Regardless, it is a penalty, and it's set up by the good receiving play to get open in that scenario. And going over here, I'm not saying that all that happened was penalties. Obviously, Love hit on some of those, but Love just made some great playmaking plays. I brought it up earlier on in the video of his playmaking ability really being kind of the thing that shined through. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of polishing that still needs to go on in his game, but you certainly see the diamonds there as well, right? It's not just like you're, polishing a rock. I guess you do polish, rocks, but you know what I mean. This play is incredible. It's zone coverage. The way it works is you have a tight end who's going to run over the middle. Another receiver is going to follow him. He's the one they want to hit, the guy who's starting off closest towards the top of the screen. That's what they want to. That's how they want this play to work. As you see, Love is going to take the snap. Love looks down the field, and they have a guy open. But it's a tough angle. That's kind of the issue, is this play worked, but how can Love get it to be a touchdown here? It's just a difficult angle because the safety or the linebacker over the middle could run over and knock it away. So they're just in a tough spot. But watch how Love decides to scramble, but then eventually still looks forward, is able to get it over there and get the touchdown on that play. I mean, that's just an incredible athletic play. And, the touchdown to set it up, obviously the big run, with about 4 minutes left in the game. These kind of things are what we saw from Jordan Love when he was at his best in college, and we're seeing it here now in Green Bay. And then this one, which I kind of think was his best throw of the day, his best play of the day in general, which is it's a one-on-one matchup right here. Reed is the intended receiver on this play. Again, trying to go for the outside here, and watch what happens. So look, Love is going to take the snap. He eventually looks over there, doesn't even look right over there, which gets the safety to not know where he's going. Good stuff there, but it's not wide open. I mean, there's a window. For sure there's a window, but this is going to take a perfect throw. Jordan Love makes a perfect throw. I mean, that's just what he did. I mean, that's just a thing of beauty right there, which is what allowed the Packers to be able to take the lead in a game that we all thought was over. We all thought this was just going to be, a tough day at the office for the Packers. Not so fast. So yeah, I mean, what a performance. Again, say what you want about the Jameis Winston having to come in, like car going down. Yeah, that helped, but at the same time, you still had to take advantage, and that's what they were able to do. Just great stuff from the Green Bay Packers, who are now 2-1 in a game that, if they're trying to make the playoffs, this is going to make it a lot easier for them. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.